Hello, and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode, 336. I am one of your...
236.
That's right, you're right. Damn,
you
it's
gave us another 100.
Damn it, I'm so close. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the one and only, Too Fresh Crash. How are you?
I'm doing good.
We already done one of these this week. They got a bonus show.
Yeah. Today's our bonus show.
See,
That's the argument I made.
I knew I'd get you. If you're noticing,
I forgot what
you forgot your argument. I know.
Yeah.
That's something you do regularly, Crash.
That's not true. That is absolutely not true.
I mean, it is. Definitely is true.
No, stop. Don't get it twisted.
Don't get it twisted like Twister. Not allowed to say the rest of it just in case, don't want anyone to come for me. They might get the law enforcement involved. How have you been, Crash?
I've been good, Nothing too crazy, nothing too bad,
It's just normal life for you, right?
Just normal, yeah.
How's New York doing?
New York is doing better, I hear. I don't go outside, so
I don't look out the windows. I don't go outside. I don't know how they're doing that.
I don't know how I contract corona. I'm just avoiding everything,
I mean, that's the smart play. It's the smart play. Haley asked me to go shop the other day with her, and I was like, I'll come, but only if I can stay in the car the whole time. And she was like, but so I have to go in the shop and get us food, but you get to stay in the car. I was like, no point both of us getting sick. So I was allowed
and
to...
if you both go, you guys have to cover more ground, which means you're more likely to contract it.
I just let her go because she has a car, and I just stayed in the car, and I was on my phone. So I feel like I did the right thing, right?
Yeah, of course.
So just so people understand, if you're watching the video version, my camera quality is a lot worse than it usually is because I'm back to using the C920 webcam instead of my A7 III camera. Most of you won't notice, most of you won't care, but just full transparency, not using my baby because it's with Haley because she has to record all of her bloody lessons now via camera, and obviously she wanted to be a fancy pants. Everyone else is out there with their iPhones and their iPads. Haley comes in with a Canon, with a Sony A7 III, a Rode Pro. I know what you're going to say. I already know what you're going to say.
Doesn't that make everybody else look so much worse?
Yeah, but it makes her look so much better.
Yeah, but it's not a nice move, is all I'm saying.
I mean...
People are conscious out here. They're like, yo, I can't afford that camera. What is that?
Crash,
now they're looking at the prices.
Crash. I think you're forgetting where she works.
Bro...
Remember, Haley is the poor child at that school. Everybody is doing very well for themselves. Let me just say that.
I'm just saying, cameras are a luxury.
I can't go into detail. I wish I could right now, but it's fine. It's fine.
I know, that's why I'm doing this.
I can't bait up where she works, so yeah. Don't forget, you can get this show early. This is My Xbox and Me. You can get the show early over on patreon.com/mcfixer. You can find us on all podcast services. I noticed in the promo image, shout out to Price. I want to give Price a big shout out on this week's episode. He is now doing our promo video thing that we put up this week, which I think looks amazing. I think it's snazzy and cool. Yeah. I sort of just give him the file, he picks it out. I said to him I'll try and time code on this week's episode if there's something I think he should pick out. I feel like it should always be a piece from topic of the show. I feel like that's the easy place. It's at the beginning of the show, it's what we're talking about as the main topic, so I'd probably take it from there. But shout out to Press. We've been talking for a while to get this done. I'm going to give him the audio early, it gets it done. Thank you. Appreciate it a lot. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channels, youtube.com/mcfixer and youtube.com/myxboxandme, which is more important because that's where you get this show. Also, our review is currently up, Crash, for Gears Tactics. I have beaten it, I have played it. We did a 45-minute talk about it. Good feedback from people. I got a lot of tweets. I don't know what your Twitter was looking like, but I got a lot of tweets from people. They enjoyed it. They liked the way we done that. So I do feel like when I'm reviewing a game for My Xbox and Me, that is how we will do a review. And what we'll do is we'll do that, and then if if it's Bunny or Zygar or Amy, if they review a game for my Xbox and me, they will then come on the podcast whenever they're available to talk about that said game. But when I review something, we're going to do it in a long form video form because I just feel more comfortable talking about a game in that way and then having a thought-provoking conversation where we can sort of go back and forth rather than... Because I did write out a whole review. I wrote out a whole thing and... I liked it. I liked what was there, but it needed more depth. It needed more depth in the gameplay. It needed more depth in what you was actually doing. And my mind doesn't go that way when writing, but it does go that way when talking about games. So yeah.
To be honest, you are a person who, through the course of a conversation, will adjust your opinion. Not necessarily that it'll completely.
No, it won't change. Yeah. Oh, I'm. That's definitely me as a person, right? I'm very hard. I'm very hard-headed in my thoughts when I have them, but I'm not open to other people's opinions. I'm not open to hearing if someone can do something better or someone disagrees with me and it's thought-provoking and makes me think a different way. I'm very open to change my thoughts, but when I'm in my thoughts, I try and hit those points. But and
fixes in his feels,
I'm always in my feels. What are you talking about? And also, last but not least, don't forget to rate us on iTunes, which is the important one. My nan did it. Did you see, Crash?
Yeah, I did. I check them regularly.
No, I'm being serious. Did you see it?
No, I didn't. Absolutely not.
Where's my phone? Let me see if I can get this up real quickly. It's I took a screenshot of it and it says here it is. 5 stars. Thank you, Nan. Best podcast ever with lots of R's. Oi, my Xbox and me crew. If I can review this dumb podcast at the age of 80, so can you. Get on it.
So, did your nan actually review that, or did you review that?
So, do you remember when my nan gave me her iPad to sort out for her?
Yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Got it.
Did she write the review, or did I? Who knows? I heard she's a
really big Xbox fan, to be honest.
All I'm saying is I practice what I preach. If I'm telling you to go steal your sister's phone, I'm going to steal my nan's iPad.
Yeah.
One of us did it, the other one didn't.
Yeah. Fix is trying to get you guys to fall for peer pressure. Here at my Xbox and me, peer pressure is our number one goal.
That's our number one priority. Peer pressuring you to support us in any way, shape, or form. We haven't got any merch out yet, but soon. Let's get into the topic of the show this week, Crash, which is it's a big one. The Initiative's Unannounced game features gadgets and camera surveillance system. The Initiative is a new Microsoft formed studio in Santa Monica, California, to produce quadruple A games. Today, Twitter's Combril, which Combril, is that how I say his name? I believe so. He's a known Xbox leaker and he digs into information like LinkedIn and stuff like that. He's known for digging into Xbox news. Noticed that on LinkedIn, a developer revealed that the Initiative's upcoming unannounced game runs on Unreal Engine 4 and features, quote, various weapons, gadgets, and a camera surveillance system. While weapons and gadgets are common, end quote. While weapons and gadgets are common in many games, the camera surveillance system sounds intriguing. In many ways, it reminds him of Watch Dogs, but since that franchise belongs to Ubisoft, it seems like either a new franchise or maybe a perfect dark reboot. Only time will tell, Crash. So, Crash, what are your thoughts on this? Before you get into that, what is your history with Perfect Dark as a series?
I've seen gameplay. I've never played it. I have no attachment to the franchise. Yeah.
So mine's very much of I played Perfect Dark on the N64, if I'm not mistaken, when that was about. And I remember it being like in competitions of GoldenEye. I was always a GoldenEye kid, so I never really cared about Perfect Dark. I remember owning Perfect Dark. I'm pretty sure it was an Xbox 360 launch title game, and it came a nice, sexy. I went through this stage where I was collecting special edition games. So I'd go into shops, and whenever they had a cheap special edition, I'd just pick it up, and like that was on sale for like a pound. Back in the day, like ages ago. And I was like, I'll take it. Took it home, played it. I was like, I don't really care about this, but the box is nice. And that's sort of my history of Perfect Dark as well. So I don't really have that love and affinity and just care about this IP the way many others do. you're clearly the same, right? Like, you don't really have any affinity for the series because you've not played it, you've only seen it.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely of the mind of, I would rather a brand new, this is the big studio. This is the, of the 15 studios Xbox now have, I think it's 14 or 15. This is the one. This is the one that I expect the biggest game to come out of. I'm expecting it to be on the level, in competition with Last of Us, Horizon Zero Dawn, Death Stranding. I know people got their opinions on that game, but I'm talking about that sort of level of production. Top tier. I just don't see Perfect Dark as a top tier IP.
To be honest, like, you have to remember that God of War, if God of War released what it used to be in this climate, it wouldn't be a top tier.
You mean the previous God of War, not the new one, right?
Yeah, not the new one. Yeah, so maybe they could do it with this.
That's what a lot of people are saying to me. I
just don't know if I'd want to see that. I'd rather them go in with like a brand new IP and just sort of wow us with that. That being said, I hold no grudges if it is a Perfect Dark. I'd rather it not be, but there's no negatives to me if it is, because I don't really have an opinion on that franchise.
Yeah, it's not negative to me as such as I just want new IP from Xbox. Like, I feel like we've got Halo, we've got Gears, right? I don't want them, and don't get me wrong, I know Perfect Dark's been gone for a while, and it's probably a great time to bring it back, but I just don't hold that in such a high regard as other IP as maybe some people do, clearly, because Twitter was going mad, but I just don't hold it in that type of regard. So I would much rather it be. I'm down for a stealth game, like a in competition to Splinter Cell or something like that. I'm down for that, an Xbox exclusive, that type of game. But I'm definitely not down for a Watch Dogs type game. Let me make that very clear, because I don't like Watch Dogs.
If it's the Watch Dogs we saw in the original trailers and
no, it was still trash. It was still trash.
I'd want that, but like, we're never getting that game, so it doesn't matter.
But yeah, for me, it's yeah, I don't know. I would rather it be a new IP.
Yeah, it's the fact of like, if it is Perfect Dark, while that is, even if it's an amazing game, it is like, oh, it's still Microsoft doing stuff that's been done before.
Yeah,
they have Gears
in new ways.
Halo, in new ways, absolutely, but it's not something wholly unique, because even if you look at Outer Worlds, which was a fantastic game, right?
Yep.
But it is, a lot of people when talking about it, it is very much so a Fallout game.
What I will say in the defense of that is that was already in production and well along its way before 100%. Xbox bought that studio.
100%. I'm not holding it against it at all. Yeah. But I do think that Microsoft might need something that is wholly original and new to this new era of Microsoft. And you'd want the quadruple A studio to sort of lead that narrative, right?
That's exactly where I'm at. If anybody's going to do it, it should be this studio, right? They should be the ones where already the rumors out there that Playground are already rebooting Fable. So we're already getting a reboot of a franchise there. Forza's not going anywhere. Gears is not going anywhere. Halo's not going anywhere. We've got Wasteland 3, we've got Grounded, which is a new IP, we've got Bleeding Edge, which is a new IP, but those are on a lesser, no disrespect to those games, but those are on a double A scale. Maybe not Wasteland, actually, but you understand what I mean by Bleeding Edge and Grounded. Those are tests. They very much feel like test pieces, where I was expecting the Initiative's game to be polished and cinematic and cutscenes and a 40 to 50 hour experience of just pure magic. And I just don't think Perfect Dark holds that. But you are right. I wouldn't have said, if you were told me God of War would be up there of one of my best games of all time, I don't think I could sit there and say, yeah, that's definitely going to happen. So I'm very much intrigued to see what happens with this, but I would rather it be a new IP.
Yeah, wholly agree.
Yeah, well, good luck to the Initiative. You got a lot of expectations.
No,
100%, 100%. When do you think we see that?
Oh, I think the first time we see it is probably next summer,
2021.
Yeah.
That next E3.
Especially because like this stuff just came up, which means we're definitely not seeing it this year.
Yeah, I would.
Which I don't think we were either way. But like with this, it's just sort of like nail in the coffin sort of situation.
We could see a like a CG tease to it. You can get something like that. I prefer it not to do that. And Xbox hasn't really done that as of lately. But it could happen, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think that's really an Xbox move. I think that's only an Xbox move when it comes to Halo. Like that's the only time we really see stuff like that happen. But that's because Halo has a ton of nostalgia. Just showing Halo and like, oh, a new Halo's coming builds a lot of hype.
Yeah.
I don't think necessarily for a new IP, just like a new IP is coming without showing anything with it.
Yeah.
May necessarily build hype, especially not for Microsoft, who's that well known for new IPs.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough. Oh, well, let's move on to Fix a Sack. Fix a Sack is our weekly fan bag email section of this podcast. Remember, you can email in myxboxandmepodcast@gmail.com, or you can tweet at me or Kresh at MCFixer at Kreshnik Plays. Quite right.
I have to change that, man.
Yeah, you do. Kreshnik Plays on Twitter and use the hashtag MXAM, or you can join my Discord. You haven't got one in your Discord, have you? A section for questions?
No, I should put one though.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Join one of our Discords and feel free to ask us questions in that section if you're into Discord. We only got one come through very late, so shout out. And the first question it's a two-part question. The first one says, what games that you've played would you love to experience again for the first time? So that's the first question from Amy Gilroy. Shout out to Queen Amy. I think the first one that pops into mind for me is it's sort of a multi-fact. Can I be an adult and experience the game for the first time? Because some of those moments were sort of ruined on me. Like, I would love to have experienced Resident Evil 2 OG as an adult with being able to read and being able to get that full experience. Don't get me wrong, I'm not upset that it didn't go that way, but I know how much I love that game anyway, right? But if I could even get more out of it, that would be magical to me. So I think Resident Evil 2 is definitely my top answer. If I could re-experience that again for the first time, but in an adult setting, I would absolutely love that. You got any that pops to mind that you just wish that you could just have this experience again for the first time?
I mean, I'd want to experience like when I first started playing Gears 3 multiplayer. I'd want to experience that again. But that would be like a time and place thing because the game's so different now anyway. Yeah. So it's not the same multiplayer experience anymore. If people even play it anymore.
It's interesting because my mind also goes to streaming as well, where I'm like, man, I wish I was streaming when Call of Duty 4 was out, and I was actually good at Call of Duty. Like, I wish that I had the foresight to record it, like many people did, and put it on YouTube or stuff like that. The Call of Duty Modern Warfare, I was on that multiplayer constantly. Like, the way that we talk about how I don't stick to games now, that wasn't the case back then. But also, I was a kid. My mum bought my video games, so I wasn't getting new games every single week. I wasn't getting games sent to me by publishers. So it's just like that moment in time was like, I have Call of Duty, everyone's playing Call of Duty, there you go.
Yeah. So like, I think it's different answers if it's like
different times.
Go back to the time, or it's like I have to play it now.
Let's
just play it now.
Let's just say it's from a experience point of view. Don't worry about the time. Don't worry about streaming. Just this experience was so good that you want to experience it again.
Okay, but what if the experience in part is made by people I played with? Because if it was a multiplayer game and I played with people, and like that experience was the game itself, but it was also playing with people.
Interesting. None of mine are multiplayer though.
What?
Like none of the games
none of yours are multiplayer.
Yeah, none of mine are multiplayer games. Like the ones that spring to mind for me is like GTA 5. But there's been enough time that I could go play that game again and probably still love it, and it's up there as one of my favorite games of all time. But it's like, that Resident Evil 2 OG, I'd say Resident Evil even 2 remake. I'd love to experience that. I remember how hype I was for that. Like, and being able to play it and getting goosebumps when I first walked into the RPD for that first time and hearing the music, which was a remix of the original music, and all those moments. I'd love to have those again. Love to. Another one that sticks out in my head would be something like Fight Night. I know that sounds stupid, but Fight Night, I remember at my dad's game shop, he just got in the Xbox 360, he hooked it up, and he's like, oh, well, do you want to try it out? I'm like, yes, please, obviously, I'm a kid in a game shop, of course I want to try it out, and I remember just playing, and it was Mike Tyson versus somebody, and I remember seeing Mike Tyson punch this guy for the first time, and you saw the face all wobble, and it was just that one of those moments that just stick in my mind in gaming, where I'm like, oh my god, this looks amazing.
Right.
Like, I'd love to experience that again. Yeah, there's a lot of experiences, don't get me wrong, that I'm sure would be great, but I'm trying to think of like the tippy top ones.
Yeah, all mines would probably be multiplayer. Any I could think of.
In what regard, then?
And like, I just want to re-experience multiplayer games for the first time, be it Gears of War or RuneScape or back when I first started playing World of Warcraft. It'd be those type of games. Or like those defining moments when I first got into those games and actually making connections with other players and stuff like that.
So it's the story. The story games do not really do it for you in that regard.
I mean,
I'd love to play. I think Last of Us is a big one for me.
I was gonna say Last of Us, or even God of War. To be honest, like I could see myself wanting to go back to those for the first time.
Yeah, on Xbox, I don't have too many of those. Gears, I think Gears 1, to be able to play Gears 1 again, story would be pretty amazing to like, and to know what's to come. To know we're gonna get 5 games in the main series, and then we're gonna get an offshoot game called Gears Tactics that fills in story and elements. And Gears Tactics, which fills in those elements. Like for me, that would be special. That would be special.
So knowing that the games are coming, or knowing what the games are?
No, I'm just saying. Like, it doesn't either way. It doesn't matter. But
in the hypothetical,
right? Of
Gears
course.
of War is a really good one because that game, like. Oh man, that game sets up so much stuff so well, you know?
I remember playing that game through solo first, and then me and my brother played it, and then because when my brother was a gamer back then, and then Gears 2, those are there's certain moments in those games, again, I'm not like can't spoil it, I won't. It's like some of those moments are like, oh my god, like I can't believe this is happening. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it, honestly.
Yeah. That's another one where, though, like my experience is tied to playing with another person because I played that co-op with my cousin the first time I played through it.
So can you not separate that though?
What, the experiences?
Yeah.
I mean, I could, but like I feel like that's not the real experience I experienced at that point.
Fair enough.
If I'm separating the game and like what actually happened and why stuff was as impactful.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess so. Yeah. I hear you.
I don't know.
I don't know if we answered the question, but thank you. And then the second part is, what games would you share if you're introducing someone to video games for the first time? Age 5 to 12, in teens, in 20s, in 30s, in 40s, exact. So, age 5 to 12, I would probably give them...
Cuphead. That's not even a joke.
Of course that's a joke. It's too hard. They would quit in the instant.
Yo, do you remember games on the Super Nintendo? I played Lion King.
Yeah, but you're also...
I love Lion King.
I agree, but I think you're also forgetting that children's what's the word I'm looking for? Like, their attention span. Thank you. Their attention span is so much shorter.
An iPad.
Yeah, trust me, not mine. Well, it is, but I'll be controlling the time of it.
Oh yeah, no, mine's not getting an iPad. Mine's not knowing an iPad exists. Anybody has an iPad, that's witchcraft. You don't hang out with those kids. Come home straight after school. You remember that, okay? Don't trust the kids with the iPad.
What about if they give them to him at school? That happens at Haley's school.
My kid's not going to that school. He's going to an Amish school, bro.
I respect it. I respect it. I think age 5 to 12, I think the game that automatically fits in my head is like Simpsons Hit and Run. Because it has that level of like open worldness that allows them to sort of explore this world. And it has a story that's obviously aimed at kids as well. And you can drive around and stuff like that. That's always one that sticks in my head that like I played as a young kid and loved. And if you don't need to really understand The Simpsons to understand this is a colourful world and that you can sort of run around and do whatever you want. And I think when you're young, that's what you want to do the most, right? Is explore what the hell everything is.
That's a really good point. What I would pick is actually Fortnite. So my kid could get really good and make millions.
Make millions.
And then I'd be set for life.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So
you can't have an iPad, but you can train Fortnite every day for 8 hours a day.
You can go on Daddy's PC for a little while, you
know. So age 5 to 12, I'd go Simpsons Hit and Run. What else could I say? Like the Lego games, I think are perfect games for that age group as well.
Lego games.
Like, and there's like literally you can pick any of them. The Harry Potter, the Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Marvel. Like there are so many. DC. There's so many. Like you can do any of those, and they're perfect for that age range.
Child of Light as well. I think that would fit very well. Also.
That's turn-based though, right?
Yeah.
See, again, I don't think those
because you didn't like turn-based as a kid.
That's true. I couldn't read.
I think kids like turn-based.
Okay.
I think there's different stuff for different kids, right? It's all what you introduce to your kids.
True. And you got to remember, I was left to my own devices as a kid. So, again, I have a brother the same age as me, but he obviously didn't live with me. So it was kind of like having a cousin or a brother that you're always in competition with that you only see once a week. So I kind of got brought up as an only child in a way. Until I didn't remember my sister. You gotta remember, my sister didn't come around until I was 14. So I was already kind of offhand and going doing my own stuff by the time she was a baby. So yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one. So I just secluded myself when I played games. That was my thing. I think aged 5 to 12, sports games, any sports games that they're into. FIFA obviously was the big one for me as a kid. I have played every single FIFA out there. Pro Evolution Soccer, like whatever. Like that'd be perfect for that age group. Teens, I would go with your Fortnite, and then again you've got as long as it's the right kid that can understand that it's a video game and stuff like that. Obviously, I don't want to just...
Kid by kid basis.
Again, it's hard because yes, definitely kid by kid basis, but I played 18 games as a child.
Yeah.
I played GTA. I played everything and anything. I played it. Doesn't make it right. It doesn't mean that I necessarily support it. I definitely think it's a kid by kid basis. I was super into James Bond back then. So at that age to 12, that 5 to 12 age, and then teens... Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. I was playing Call of Duty and mainly shooters and stuff like that. I don't know if a kid. It depends on the kid. It definitely depends on the kid. Like, you can't be just throwing kids into Call of Duty. Like, and again, more power to parents. I am not a parent. Chris is not a parent, so you guys will know way more than what we do about children. Exactly.
It's probably wrong. It's more than likely wrong.
I totally agree. Tweens, again, I think they're sort of in with the teens. I sort of put them together. It's like COD, Fortnite, Valorant at the moment, Gears, stuff like that. And then 30s and 40s. Go on.
I don't know if 20s I'd necessarily introduce them to those type of games.
What?
Call of Duty and stuff like that.
Well, it's teens to 20s, I would say.
But there's a difference between teens and 20s.
I don't disagree with you, but I do feel like the game scale sort of just is like that there.
The reason I wouldn't is because if you give because I'm under the assumption for this is
is this a fresh, like they've never played a video game before?
For the first time. Like you give
somebody
who's never played a video game. Like somebody in their teens, I could see like, okay, I played Call of Duty, I'm dying, but like I'll figure this out. Somebody in their 20s like, I got other stuff to do. I got work. I got friends. I'm not gonna hang around.
You're 100% right.
Playing a Call of Duty or a Valorant or Fortnite, getting an ass.
No, you're 100% right. For someone in their 20s, then first game
for me, it would be like a story game, like a Last of Us or something like that.
Stop saying Last of Us. It's the Xbox podcast.
I know, but I couldn't think of something else to fit there. I was thinking this whole time.
Tomb Raider. The first Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
First Tomb Raider would be perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
Forget like the other game. Oh, Tomb Raider. Yeah.
I think like that. But again, you still got to learn the mechanics of how to move a camera and things like that.
I think the story aspect will make you overlook that because you want to get to the next part. And you can play that game on easy.
Yeah.
Like Call of Duty,
yeah, of course you can. Yeah.
Like a Call of Duty story, sure. You could say Modern Warfare story, right? I think that would be a story that somebody can get into if they're into military movies and stuff like that. It depends, right, what they're into.
Yeah.
That also factors into what I show them, right?
It's such a hard thing because you need to know the person's like what they're into as well. Because like you could easily I know a lot of women, and I know Haley likes it. Sims would be the perfect game for a 20-year-old. Like, but if they're not into those type of games, it's like, why do I want to do this? I do this all in real life. If you're not into that, then you're not into it. So
if they're into strategy stuff like chess and things like that, there's Gears Tactics.
Yeah, there's definitely stuff out there.
Yeah.
So hard question, but I think we answered it nonetheless. 40s and 50s, 30s and 40s, etc. Generally,
I think it's all the same
from 20s on. Yeah, it's you got to find out what that person actually likes. So
yeah,
there you go. Thank you for the question, Amy. Appreciate it. Let's get into what's been in your box, Crash. What have you been playing?
I played a little bit of Gears Tactics.
A little bit. How many hours in are you now?
I didn't play anything since we talked about it on the last podcast.
Gotcha. I thought you were starting it.
It's available universally in 4 hours.
Oh, is it not out yet?
Yeah, it's out universal everywhere.
They're smart. Yeah. They're smart.
Yeah. So it wasn't out like 12 a.m.
Damn it.
Over here, nothing. Yeah.
Damn it. So you still gotta wait. Damn.
Still gotta wait. Yeah.
Well, I
was so disappointed. I waited I stayed up and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fix my sleep schedule because I'm just gonna play Gears Tactics through and then knock out and I'll be good. And then that didn't happen. I was like, I'm just knocking out. I don't know. My sleep schedule stayed not fixed.
So I played it yesterday on insane difficulty. And again, if you want to hear like my full in depth, listen to Monday's episode. But yeah, like, oh my god, insane is ridiculous. It's ridiculously
I was watching
hard.
You play it, and I was like, I really want to try it. I don't know if I'd stick through a whole playthrough of it, but I do really want to try playing it.
I think it could be a lot of fun. It's going to be very, very annoying. And I'm glad I didn't review it on that difficulty, because it would have soured my experience. But for a second playthrough, I'm like, oh, I just need to think. It's a lot of, you need to think. And I was saying that beforehand. Oh my god, insane. This is a total different experience. You need to think.
I watched you playing on Insane, and then I watched somebody else playing on Insane a little bit, and it's like, you really have to utilize like
everything.
Character special abilities. Which when I was first playing through, I did the first 2 chapters. I wasn't really like, I was paying more attention to the AP points and stuff like that. Not necessarily like, oh, if you play Sid, you have the roar thing, which
knocks him out of
Overlook. And I didn't really use that.
I did towards as you go on, you do start using that.
Because you have to, because the game progresses in difficulty. But having that right out the gate makes you use it earlier. Which changes like those fights that you already know, and I'm sure they also throw more enemies and do other stuff to you.
Just damage. The damage, honestly, the damage that they're putting that, it's not being able to throw a grenade through the hole straight away. It's the emergence hole straight away. It's those things that's like, Jesus, you're just getting overrun. I'm on the second part of the first chapter where you just go through your recruits.
So
on Insane.
It makes you think if you want to use your grenades as well.
You have to.
A lot more often.
You can't just use them the way I usually use it as like, oh, there's a pack of 5 people. I'll use it there. It's like, well, I could, but then there's still gonna be 3 more that come out of that goddamn hole in a turn. So it's really different. It's really, really different. But you can't get too close to the hole because when they do come out, they're gonna kill you. And if you don't, it's like,
so you have to keep distance.
There's no dans, so you don't get dans. You just die.
Okay.
So characters are just dead.
Sounds a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. It's just very, very, very stressful. I wouldn't suggest it for a first playthrough, if I'm honest.
I'll try it. See how it goes.
I mean, I think it would make the game a lot longer. You could be looking at over 100 hours on Gears Tactics, on just the story, before you get to endgame stuff.
Yeah.
So
maybe I play normal. Maybe I don't. We'll see.
Yeah, I played it through on intermediate. Maybe go up from that. There's one below Insane, which is, I forgot what it is. There's something else. I think there's something below Insane. Maybe play that one if you want a bit of more of a challenge. But Insane was so hard.
I'll probably try it on Insane. See how the first 2 missions go, up to where I played before, and if it's like, oh, it's too much. Like, can you knock down the difficulty while you're in game?
I don't know.
I assume that they wouldn't with the way the game works. They wouldn't let you push it up, but maybe they let you throw it down.
Don't know.
Not sure.
Not sure.
Either way, those first 2 chapters aren't really that long anyway.
No, they're not.
So
for anyone again wondering why we're not going full in depth on Gears Tactics, we put out an episode literally yesterday of the time we're recording, which will be Monday for you guys listening, if you're not listening on patreon.com/mcfixer. So I don't want to. No need for me to go into my full process. We go into 45 minutes of everything. Go check out that episode. It's doing decently already. So go check it out if you are interested in that.
Question. I really need
Answer.
to not say that anymore.
Answer.
Really need to not say that anymore. Would it be worth doing a spoiler cast for it, for the story?
If the people want it, I'd be down.
Let us know if you guys want it.
Yeah, I'd be down. I know Amy's planning it as well, so I know you'll be planning it.
We'd have people for it.
Definitely people. I've beat it already. I'm down to play through it again just so or watch it back so I can know what's going on. Not that I forgot, but you understand what I mean. Like, I'd totally be down. If people want it, let us know. Tweet us, whatever Discord, whatever. If you want a spoiler cast for Gears Tactics like we did with Gears 5, I'm totally down to do it.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. I played a bit of Fortnite with you. Which I had fun playing it, but the reason I added it here, because usually I would just play Fortnite, blah blah blah, whatever. The reason I added it here is we made some good. We were having a good talk during the stream, which is Fortnite to me is fun, but now we're just playing against bots because we haven't played for such a long time.
I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah,
when I was talking. I think I'm done with Fortnite.
Oh,
because I don't think I'd want to play with bots long enough to where I'd start getting placed with better players.
Yeah,
because that whole experience, that whole day, it was fun playing with you.
We didn't win though. That's my thing.
It was unsatisfying.
But we didn't win.
We didn't win, and the kills didn't feel satisfying. Where normally when we don't win, we will win a gunfight or whatever, and I'm like, that guy was better than me. I killed him. I feel satisfied in some sense with today in this game.
Yeah,
might not be the best experience, but I got some sort of satisfaction out of it.
Satisfaction. Yeah,
satisfaction out of it.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I personally don't see it that way, just because I think Fortnite's so easy on the eyes, and so I turn my mind off. I'm just shooting. I've learned. I know enough to build a little bit now that I'm winning certain fights. I had a couple of those moments that I enjoyed. Like, I died just afterwards, but there was one where you went down. I built up, sprinted up, jumped, span around, took a guy out. When I hit the floor, someone else killed me. But I still felt good in that moment. And that was against proper players. The problem is, I agree with you. We're getting 7 kills. We're getting 7 kills for the team, and 4, 5 of those are bots.
It's not just bots. It's also just bad players.
I don't think they're bad players. I feel like they're just bots.
I don't really think so, because a lot of them aren't names that they'd give bots.
I don't know. You could be right. You could definitely be right. I wasn't paying attention to names, but. Yeah, they're very bad if they're bad. Yeah. They're really bad. Like, they're worse than some mobile players I've played against. Like, they're really bad.
Yeah, it wasn't I don't know. It just I felt I've never felt that unsatisfied when playing Fortnite, because I've had low moments with Fortnite.
Yeah.
But it's never felt like where I got through the day and I'm like, what did I do?
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Have you been playing anything else?
Yes, I played Apex Legends Duel mode.
Oh, okay. What did you think?
Yeah, I really, really like the Duel mode.
Nice.
They should have had it a very long time ago.
It
makes certain characters that aren't as good a lot more worth it to play.
Such as
Revenant, new character. I think not a great character for when you're playing in trios. In duos, the character's really good, because I was playing with Ben, and what we would do is he'd play Pathfinder, so he could do the zip line. So I'd have my ult, we'd hide somewhere, I'd pop my ult, we'd get it to where we respawn, he'd zip line us over, and then we'd go over, we'd die, we'd go back, and then we could usually win a fight after that.
Oh, okay.
But with 3 people, there's just too many unknowns to really play around it and really utilize him to the best of his ability.
So is this a full mode now? Is this going to stay forever, or is this timed?
It's here forever.
Okay.
It's forever. They're never getting rid of it. They said they'll never add solos, because solos just doesn't work with the game.
Yeah.
And that's probably true, because in solos, most of the characters you'd probably find are wraiths. Or something like that. And it's just not as entertaining, I think, as a team game. But yeah, I really, really, really like duos in the game. They need to add ranked for it. That's the next thing they need to add. I don't know if they will.
Why not?
True. Yeah.
Cool. I played so 2 games. Obviously, Final Fantasy 7. I've played. I can touch on that a tiny bit. I've played maybe like an hour more than I played beforehand. Obviously, I was on the Gears Tactics review, so that took up all my time last week. So I haven't really had time to play Final Fantasy. I'm looking forward to getting back to it. So that's where I'm at with that. Probably about 5 hours in. I've just got to the Tan and what's her name? Tifa is taking me around and sort of like, hey, you've got there's jobs to do, and I'm starting opened up the side quests and stuff like that. That's where I'm at on that game. Enjoying it. I still think it's fantastic. I'm frustrated that I don't have time to just play it when I want. I'm frustrated that I can't stream it because it doesn't perform well stream wise. It's one of those games again where I'm like, I want to play it, but I just trying to find the time to play it is quite hard. So yeah. And then the next one's not on Xbox either, but I want to talk about it really quickly because you're missing nothing, Xbox fans, and that's why I wanted to bring it up. So I've been playing a little game called Predator Hunting Grounds. Some of you might be saying, oh man, I really wish that was on Xbox. It sounds really good. If this game was on Xbox as an exclusive, PlayStation fans would be destroying people. You know the way PlayStation fans get, right?
I don't think they would.
Oh, you're so wrong.
I really don't.
You're so wrong. You're so wrong.
You're going for all the fanboys, and Xbox fanboys do that already because Xbox fanboys are doing that with this.
I'm not seeing it, and I'm in the fanboy.
I've seen it.
Okay,
I've seen people absolutely destroying this game.
This game should be destroyed. Let me say on the surface.
I haven't played it. Actually, I can't.
Let me say on the surface. Predator Hunting Grounds is a fun game with friends. Like if you want to jump in, shoot some dumb AI. Shoot a predator, someone playing as the predator. If they play as a predator and they're good at the game, it's a lot of fun. If you play the game and they're not good at it, it is so dull, so boring. It is literally go into a match, run to the objective, do what the objective is. Oh no, there's a predator. Shoot him, chase him down, kill him. Oh, he self-destructs, run away.
Yeah. So I didn't before I saw it the first time, which. This came out like a week or 2 ago.
No, this people last week.
A week or two ago.
Yeah, last week it came out.
Okay. Yeah. I saw people playing and there was objectives.
Yeah.
And I was so confused. I was like, this isn't like you try and kill the predator. It's just like an objective-based game.
It's both. So it's you have your objective that you go to do, right?
Yeah.
But the thing that I think they've made so many dumb mistakes with this game. When you drop into a map, yeah. Wouldn't it be cool if you have to go and find the objective? So it gives you a reason to actually traverse the map. No, it tells you where the objective is. So the objective is 400 yards that way. Go. It's like, okay, so everyone just sprints to the objective. You don't see the Predator for the first half of the match. Because he's killing people and obviously leveling up. I have not played as a Predator. I've only played as a soldier so far. And because when I play those games, that's how I like to play. I'd rather be the hunted than be the hunter. That's just the way I prefer to play those games. So, you go in, tells you where the objective is, which I think it would be super cool if they didn't tell you where the objective was. So, you and your squad had to, if you did separate, you separated into, it's like, guys, come over this way. It forces you to talk. It forces you to explore this world. You wouldn't want to explore this world. It looks like a PS3 game. Its graphics are so below par for what we expect in a game in 2020. I've got to say.
How much is the game?
$40. $40. There is a $60 version. I think you get some other stuff with it, but it's a $40 game you can get it for. Again, if this was on Xbox as an exclusive, which I know it's on PC as well, but as a console exclusive, I think PlayStation fans would be having a field day with it. I haven't seen reviews for it. Have you seen reviews for it?
No.
Oh, I'd love to know.
Reviewers probably were like, this isn't worth reviewing.
No, surely. I'd love to know.
There's more than likely reviews out. Or it's an online game. A lot of people are doing the review in progress now.
Yeah, it's probably that. I'm trying to have a look at its Metacritic right now. Its Metacritic right now is at 59.
Yeah, that's not good.
That tells you everything you need to know. Game Informer gave it a 73.
PlayStation exclusive at a 59. Get real PlayStation. Xbox is where it's at.
Oh, you're such an idiot. I hate you. Push Square gave it a 40. IGN gave it a 50. So, a 5. It's not good. It's not good. I'm sorry. I just thought I would talk about it. Usually I don't talk about games that are on PlayStation, but I felt like, why not? We should talk about it.
But did we think it was going to be good? Because I didn't.
Its moment, you know what my problem is with the game? Is it has potential to be good. Like, that's what I think upsets me. Like Friday the 13th. It's like, those games and those known IP, right? Like, they deserve good games. They deserve nice looking games. They deserve, like, the ability, the crux of what they have is good. But it's just not thought out well enough, and just not, it's like the shooting, it just doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel like that's something they got away with in Friday the 13th, right? Because there's no shooting. You're just sort of hitting things. It's like, that's no problem. The shooting in this doesn't feel great. Like, in a world where I compare everything to Call of Duty, and maybe that's unfair, maybe that's an unfair comparison, but that's out there, so that's what I compare it to. God, this feels awful compared to that.
Yeah. Make a new Predator game that isn't this.
It's a shame. It really is a shame. And I'm sure people out there, they will love it. And again, there are moments to have fun with you. If I had a group of 4 friends that just wanted to grind this, I'd totally do it. Because it's fun enough to play with friends and muck around. But it's not a good game.
Background hanging out with friends.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Let's move on to this week on the dashboard, Crash, which is our news. Gears Tactic developer says Xbox Game Pass frees up metrics, thank you. For success, allows teams to take risks. Gears Tactics is coming out soon, and ahead of its release, the Correlation talked to Jeff Grubb at VentureBeat about how Game Pass changes the business model for different teams at Xbox. Mike Crump, operating director at the Correlation, had this to say, quote, "We have certain expectations, and we measure against those in terms of unit sales, but Game Pass just frees up a little bit from having to be solely reliant on those kind of metrics for success. But when we're deciding whether to make a game or not, it's nice to have all those different metrics for success and not to be tied to just one of did you sell a certain number of units at a certain price point or not, because I think it really allows us to take risks and try things that we wouldn't otherwise." This is exactly what we were talking about on last week's episode.
Yeah.
Crash, or was it on the Gears Tactics review? One of the two.
It was. I think it was the review, because we weren't really talking about Gears Tactics before that.
Yeah. So we were literally saying, I wonder what the metrics of success is for Gears Tactics.
Yeah.
Is it sales? Is it play? Is it play time? Is it keeping people on Game Pass? What is it? And from this quote, it kind of seems like it's all of the above, right? It's not just how many sales it sells on Steam and on Xbox Store and blah, 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 blah. It's how many downloads they can get and how many people they can keep on Game Pass, which is perfect. That's exactly what it should be.
Agreed. This is really exciting because maybe this does allow for more exploration within Microsoft Studios themselves, where maybe that is also why Bleeding Edge came out.
Yeah. I mean, it's a test piece, right?
It is like, can we put this model out there and can it survive? And maybe that's also a test piece for future games and stuff they might want to do with online, with a Halo or a Gears of War in the future. Sort of put it out as a standalone.
I think we're seeing that. I think we're seeing that again with Grounded as well, right? It's like, when do we see? You don't see Microsoft make a multiplayer survival game, which, don't get me wrong, it does have a story as well, but it's like, that's not what I expect from Microsoft first party.
It's not a AAA game, right?
Yeah, no,
it shows that they're allowing their first party studios to make
what they
want,
want.
AAA games, but fun experiences.
Yeah,
and that they don't necessarily have to sell as much. I'd be curious to see whether this viewpoint changes for their AAA titles, their big titles, right? Will the initiative be judged on their sales more than Game Pass and all that stuff? I don't think it will. But there is that possibility where they're like, we put more money into this, we expect more out of this.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess you're right. I feel like it's what we've always said, though, right? It's get people in Game Pass, people forget it's on their credit cards, and then we'll just keep going through, and they'll make more. They'll make more money over time. Instead of them selling one $60 game to that person, they're gonna make $120 over the year. Like, why wouldn't they?
People rent games, people buy used games.
Yeah, it takes away that market.
Game Pass, you can just like give this and you own it while you have Game Pass. Not own it, but you can play while you have Game Pass. And then once you don't want to do it anymore, that's cool. You owe us no commitment.
Yeah. Moving on though, Gears Tactics already the top selling game on Steam. Gears Tactics is a strategy game along the lines of XCOM. It's coming to PC tomorrow, which is today. And Xbox One later this year. It may be upgraded for the Xbox Series X depending on the release. Gears Tactics will be available for free as part of the Game Pass Ultimate. That's a quote, free. I am not saying that. Let me finish. Subscription on PC, but it seems like a lot of people are buying it too right now. It's the most popular game on Steam.
Free, huh?
It's not free. Quote, free.
You threw in the quote to throw people off.
No, it says quote right there. Stop lying to people.
See your opinion change.
No, you do not. Game Pass Ultimate is not free.
If you say so.
I do. That's very clear. I do say so.
Okay.
Good.
Nothing wrong.
So good for that. I think this is why it's on Steam. I mean, like they've clearly come to their senses in a way of like, people don't like the Windows Store. Stop forcing people to buy things through the Windows Store. Yeah. The one thing I will say is I played it on Steam and I got all the Xbox achievements. So they've perfectly worked it where it's like, okay, how can we get people? How can we make everybody happy? So you can log into Steam, play the game, and I still earn Xbox achievements.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm very happy.
In part for this, we should really be looking at Minecraft, which has had people signing into their Microsoft account for a while. So Microsoft probably saw it there, and they were like, "Let's keep doing this."
You think they moved?
I think they did it with Gears 5 as well.
I'm not sure. Do you think they move Minecraft? Do you think they'd sell Minecraft on Steam soon?
Oh no.
Why?
Because I don't think Minecraft needs to be on Steam.
But why not? Like, why wouldn't they?
Big enough to not be on Steam.
You bet it could sell more.
Yeah, maybe. But I don't think they need to, is the thing. Like, do you invest the time into that? Do you
invest the time? You just got to put it on the store.
Are you sure that's all they have to do?
I haven't got a clue. I don't know how moving games.
The Steam account, and then you have to connect it to the Xbox account. Like, I don't know how all that backend stuff. Maybe it is super simple, and maybe we do see that happening. But I don't see a point to that happening. So if there's any sort of work, I don't think they go for it. They go through for that.
Fair enough.
Is Minecraft Dungeons on Steam?
I don't know. You'd assume so.
I have no clue. If Minecraft Dungeons on Steam, maybe that answers your question for you, that it will be coming up in the future.
I don't know. I'd buy it again on Steam though. If they did, that'd be dope. Moving on, IGN announced its Summer of Gaming event in June. Again, this was announced ages ago, but I must have just missed it. I knew about it, but I just didn't talk about it on my Xbox and me. But I'll read it through, which is IGN is proud to announce our new Summer of Gaming event, a global digital event set to begin this June, to bring you the latest news and impressions around upcoming games and the next generation of console hardware. IGN will be collaborating with a number of partners for the Summer of Games, including 2K, Square Enix, Sega, Bandai Namco, Amazon, Google Stadia, Twitter, Devolver Digital, THQ Nordic, and more. Expect more details in the coming weeks. The event will include live broadcasts and an on-demand programming featuring IGN editorial coverage of the work of game developers from around the world. The new piece, which is why it's got brought to our attention, is with E3 2020 cancelled, IGN has a suite of program planned to kick off early June. It includes publishers' presentations with IGN pre- and post-show discussions, remote developer interviews, hands-on demos, and preview impressions, gameplay, news segments, recapping the biggest announcement. The big news, though, coming is the IGN Summer of Gaming I'll continue at pace, but we thought we'd take a quick break from all the planning and let you know an exciting addition to the lineup is CD Projekt Red will be bringing Cyberpunk 2077 to the show in June. Crash, you looking forward to this? I'm actually really looking forward to this because I was brought up on, I shouldn't say brought up, but when I got into this industry, it was IGN because of obviously Greg Miller and stuff like that. But I don't go to IGN really for anything but Podcasts Unlocked. Like, that's the only thing I watch on IGN now is their Xbox podcast. But obviously I know of the names and stuff that are there now, but I'm really looking forward to this, to be able to obviously react to some content, which is amazing for me and my business. But not only that, just to be able to sit down and just sort of see some interviews, and I'm sure it isn't all going to go smooth because it's hard right now in the world, but I'm really looking forward to this. I'm glad someone is doing something to take place of E3.
Yeah, IGN also like makes video content on a regular, so maybe whatever they do will be better than something that like Microsoft's last Inside Xbox or something like that, or whoever would do it.
Them, or no disrespect to like Kind of Funny, like if Kind of Funny was to do something like this, I feel like it would be kind of not on the professional level that you'd need it to be, not because they couldn't do it, but more because of the fact of there are so many people involved that it'd be hard for them. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't know, man. I'm excited. I'm especially excited to see more Cyberpunk. From what I've seen already, I'm just like, yes, please give me more.
Do you think that IGN's show date and Cyberpunk being their dates when Microsoft's going to show their games?
What, June?
Yeah. So it'd be whatever. Do we know the date for this? Early June? Because there is the rumor that Microsoft's going to do something in May.
Which we're going to get to in a little bit, but yeah.
But wouldn't this date that? Because Microsoft does have a deal with them, and we've seen companies show repeat stuff for the
What do you mean
part.
Microsoft have a deal with them, with IGN?
Not Microsoft, not with IGN, but with Cyberpunk. We're not necessarily a deal, but
Cyberpunk they got the third-party marketing. They got the marketing, yes.
Yeah,
sorry, I understand what you mean now. No, I don't think that means anything. I think you're still going to see the splash screen at the end of it. Plays better on. I'm sure I don't know how third-party marketing works. I don't know if it's just on pre-roll ads or just on TV ads or stuff like that. I don't know if it's that, or if it's like everything. Anywhere you show this game, you have to pre-roll it with plays better on Xbox or something like that. I don't know. I don't think this tells you, because this game's so big, Crash, that they could easily show something here, and then they could easily show something at Xbox show, and everyone's happy because we're seeing more Cyberpunk at the end of the day.
I completely agree. So it is basically like a Rockstar, right?
Yeah, I mean it's to that level. That level.
So I absolutely agree. I was just curious. It was a thought that came to my head, you know.
Moving on, Naughty Dog's Silver Chambers joins Microsoft's The Initiative as a character animator. Today, Twitter's Combril. What do you reckon it is? Clobril. That makes more sense. Clobril noticed that Silver Chambers has joined Microsoft, the new studio, The Initiative, as a character animator. Chambers is also known for her work at Sony's Naughty Dog, EA's DICE, and other teams. You may recognize many of these AAA games because she worked on Battlefield 5, Uncharted 4, The Lost Legacy, among others. They've been picking up a lot of Naughty Dog and other previous like top tier talent at The Initiative, which is good.
Yeah, and to be honest, like it's not a surprise. Microsoft's shown that they're willing to invest in their brands and stuff that's attached to them through Mixer and through the acquisition of new studios.
Oh,
so it's not surprising to me at all. So
did you see the new Mix ad that came out?
The one where
with Shroud. No, with Shroud. No.
Oh, I saw.
It's so good.
I haven't watched it.
It's so funny.
Is it?
It's so funny. I'm like, this is where I'm like, this is why you did this. This is bigger than just Mixer. This is bigger than just the streaming platform.
Makes a lot of sense.
It's we're moving into the PC gaming space, and it's an ad for PC. Game Pass PC as well. It's like we're moving into the PC space. Who are the biggest names in the PC space? Who are going to help us drive ads? Who are going to help us have that name recognition with that? And it's like, of course, Shroud. And honestly, it's funny. It shows his personality. It shows Xbox is having fun. It was really good. I watched it. It popped up, and I was like, oh, let's watch it. It showed Heidi. She's like, that was a really good advert. And I was like, I know we don't see adverts often, so to sit there and go, this is a good advert, is a good moment. So.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, it's The Initiative. They're doing something. And we'll find out soon, I guess. Speaking of soon, Crash, Phil Spencer, Xbox boss, says the Xbox Series X game reveal won't be too much more of a wait. Head of Xbox Phil Spencer has said that the next step for Xbox Series X reveal won't be, quote, too much of a wait. And the next step seemed to be about revealing games. In a tweet below, Phil Spencer said that he, quote, reviewed plans yesterday for continuing sharing through launch. Team is doing great work. Yeah, I know, I've got food on the brain. Team is doing great work and adapting. I've never been more excited about Xbox plans. We've heard you. You want transparency and authenticity. We plan to keep showing that way. Next step is not too much of a wait, in brackets, games. Yeah. This gets me super excited.
Yeah.
Because obviously we've had the talk, right, about how I'm worried about launch lineup for the Series X because I feel like we don't do that anymore. That's not a thing anymore. But I feel like Xbox are sort of showing their hand a little bit with what they're doing right now, which is we've just got Gears Tactics. Next month we get Wasteland and Minecraft Dungeons. There's more on the horizon. And Phil has already been on the record saying, he said it on the Unlocked podcast that he did, which was like, we have plenty to show. There's not a show that will happen that we don't have something to show. And I'm like, we're going to see Fable soon, Crash, and I can't fucking wait, man. I can't wait. It's going to be Fable. I can feel it. I can feel it.
I really hope you're right. I really, really, really hope you're right.
I can feel it, Crash. Oh, Crash, we never played Fable together.
No. You think they'd do it co-op, or would they try and take it to like a more...
the co-op... So 2 and 3 are co-op, 1 isn't.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest.
I'm fine with either.
Honest. I think I'd prefer going this wholly single-player route.
But me and Haley love Fable. I'd love to play it with Haley.
That. I would love for it to be co-op. I would love to mess around with you, Ben, whatever. I would love that. But I think we'd get a better game if it was solely single-player. And I think as an Xbox fan, you should want a better game as opposed to a funner experience.
Sure. I'll allow it. Right. But yeah, this not too much more of a wait. The rumors is, like you said, could be a May event going on. I don't think so. I think it's going to be a June. I think it's going to be June around that E3 time. I generally just don't see it being May. It's too quick, right?
There was the rumor that there is a May event and a June event, where one is a game event and one is a tech event.
Yeah, I hear that.
I could see that happening. I thought that May was too soon until I saw this. And then this is like... Phil Spencer doesn't... He says a lot of stuff as obviously a studio head, so it's biased. It's all completely biased. But he doesn't really talk out the mouth too often.
Dude, this was just a response to a fan. You know that, right?
Yeah.
This was literally someone just tweeted at him saying, "Hey Phil, like how long we got and what's going on?" And he was like, "Boom, boom, 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 boom." It's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so this wasn't a PR.
No,
maybe this was like, we're gonna make this announcement. If it was like,
no, I disagree. I
don't think so.
Yeah,
either, but maybe there's a possibility that was the case. I don't think that was the case.
I just think it's him
makes
being
this feel so more genuine.
I feel like that's what I feel like it is. Yeah. I totally agree.
I think because of that, like, there is a possibility that towards the end of May there will be an event, and because they're not tied to having a conference in a specific space, they can play around with that day and that time frame whenever they want. So they won't tell us until they're ready.
I agree. I think we'll get it with like a week's notice.
Yeah. Agreed.
Speaking of May, Crash, a game comes to Game Pass in May, which is Red Dead Redemption 2. Is coming to Game Pass in May. Rockstar Games' Red Dead Redemption 2 will be added to Game Pass for console in May. Microsoft announced Thursday. Rockstar's 2018 release will replace an older Rockstar game, GTA 5, when Red Dead Redemption hits the program on May 7th.
Yeah.
Kind of a shame to see GTA 5 come out so quickly. It hasn't been a long time, but it hasn't been a short time, sorry, I should say, but I hate it when games leave Game Pass just because I want them there forever, but I understand it. It makes perfect sense. Why would you put your two biggest franchises in Game Pass? Why not just take one out?
Also, they're losing GTA 5. I think the loss of GTA 5 does like weigh itself out with the gain of Red Dead Redemption 2, right?
It depends. It's
because it's you have the Rockstar fan base, which is this. Think of it like a what are the diagrams called?
What do you mean?
A Venn diagram.
Yeah, Venn diagram. Yeah.
Yeah, the middle Rockstar fans. Then you have a whole bunch of Gears, Grand Theft Auto 5 fans, and then you have Red Dead Redemption fans.
Yeah,
and they don't necessarily overlap.
No,
so this is getting more people onto the Game Pass with big blockbuster names, which I think is a good move on Microsoft.
Yeah, Red Dead's not that old. It's not that old a game,
no.
and to see it come in here that quickly, I guess, is a bit of a weird thing to say. But you understand what I mean? Like,
yeah,
good for them. Good for them. I'm glad they're supporting Game Pass, and I'm happy that people get to experience Red Dead. It's worth experiencing. I didn't like the experience, but it's worth experiencing.
People really liked it.
Yeah,
people.
Yeah, who was on the show? Who really liked it? Who liked? I don't know. I can't remember.
I forget those people.
Yeah, me too. They're not worth knowing anymore. Last story, Crash. We're not getting a WWE 2K entry this year, but another WWE game is on its way. We may not be getting a new WWE 2K mainline title this year, as 2K confirmed in previous reports that it won't be releasing a WWE 2K21 in 2020. However, 2K will still be releasing a WWE game. The studio announced Monday in an open letter that Saber Interactive, the company behind NBA 2K Playgrounds, is developing a WWE 2K Battleground, which is scheduled to release this fall. Like NBA 2K Playgrounds, WWE 2K Battlegrounds is set to be an arcade-style experience with over-the-top superstar designs, environments, and moves. According to 2K, the studio also said that the game will include social play and is working to make it easy to use. The two games also share a very similar art style, making the athletes look more cartoonish with a giant head and bright colours. We got a question, Crash.
Yes.
That came through, which says this. WWE has decided to do a side game instead of having another main game series. Do you feel like more companies should make spin-offs instead of releasing a new game every year from Canada Riot?
Depends.
No.
I think it depends completely. Is it the same studio? Is it actually a spin-off, or is it a quote-unquote spin-off? Right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of companies do the thing of where it's like a quote-unquote spin-off, but it's still like the same size of a full-length game, and it still has the same problems as previous games. So I think it really does depend on what we're talking about.
My thing is no, like you can't. I look at it again. I bring it back to FIFA, right? Where it's like you can't replace FIFA 21 with FIFA Street. You can't do that. Like you can't replace Madden 21 with Madden Street. Like you can't do that. I get why it works in WWE, and what you need to remember is WWE sucks. The WWE games have been terrible for the last 2018, 19, 20, 21. So the last 3-4 years, they've been bad.
Yeah.
So no, I personally don't think that you need to do these spin-offs. I don't like the look of this spin-off, honestly. It doesn't look like what I want. I knew this is what they would do though. I just don't. The Playground series are fun in NBA because I like that game. But my WWE games, I want an arcade type game, yes, but not this. I don't want this.
I think that this will be the better WWE experience for the upcoming few years until they actually fix whatever's wrong with it.
They're gonna fix 21, clearly. Like 22, sorry, I should say. They have to. They're taking the time off to do it. They have to fix it, right?
Time off doesn't necessarily mean it'll be fixed.
Oh, don't say that.
Like if they
don't say that.
What if the time off is only to fix the bugs, but not the like underlying issues of the
graphics and the gameplay mechanics? And don't say that, Crash. You're gonna upset me.
I don't think taking another year necessarily. It depends what their scope's on, right? What are they focusing on? What do they? Maybe it's a widespread thing where they're like, okay, we have to fix everything.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not. So I don't know.
Yeah, this news didn't get me excited, unfortunately. I wanted it to, but it just didn't.
Yeah, I don't know if I care for WWE games anymore at this point.
I do. I want a good one. I want a good one. So
I remember playing SmackDown on the PS2.
SmackDown
vs. Raw. Yeah, that was a ton of fun. I remember loving that game.
Brilliant games. THQ, man. THQ. That's the one series THQ used to smash out the park every year.
Yeah, they killed it with those, but even the old Sega Genesis wrestling games used to be a lot of fun, and the N64 wrestling games. It's like wrestling games have a track record of actually being fun games.
Yeah.
When they were arcadey and funner, which I do think maybe not you, but I do think other WWE fans may get what they want from it with this game.
I'm not gonna. Yeah.
I know you, but
yeah.
But it is a shame to also see where WWE's sort of gone with their games.
Oh, it sucks.
Over time. Yeah.
It breaks my heart. It really does. Crash. That is it for this week. Games of Gold this month. You have Project Cars 2 available April 1st to April 30th. Don't forget to download that. Knights of the Pen Pal available April 16th to May 15th. And I missed Fable Anniversary.
That's on Game Pass.
Dude, but I missed it. I could have owned it. Toy Box Turbos April 16th to April 30th. Go on.
You know how you have this problem with free games with gold not being free?
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, I wouldn't own it. I don't like license. I wouldn't own the game. You're right.
I'm just saying, somebody who's particular about words.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm particular about words on this one thing.
Okay, I'm just saying.
On this one thing.
That same energy, bro, is all I'm saying.
I'm always...
I've been peeping you. Keep the same energy, bro.
Okay, I hear it. Respect. Let's plug and get ourselves out of here, Chris. What you got to plug this week, my friend?
Twitch.com/Crashnick. Same thing as every week. Go.
You could go to twitch.com, but you wouldn't get to Crash, because it's twitch.tv.
Yeah. That was a test fix. I was testing you to see if you... Bro, you my homie. You knew it. You got it.
You can go to twitch.com. I don't know what's there, but it won't work. I'm pretty sure.
Wait. Let me see. Maybe Twitch owns it.
Maybe, probably.
They do? Let me see if I / it.
I was going to say, twitch.com/Crash. Go on.
It goes to my channel. You can go to twitch.com/Crashnick and you get to my channel. Don't worry about it.
I'll shut up. You can find me everywhere at MCFixer. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I'm doing my bits on Instagram right now. I'm trying to build my following. So go follow me on Instagram, please. Help a boy. If you like me, go follow me on Instagram.
Help a boy out.
You can get me on. I'm doing the one thing to plug is I am 9 o'clock in the morning every weekday. I am doing Ring Fit Adventure on the Nintendo Switch, and it's been fun the last 2 days. I've done 2 days of it now, and it's hard. It's a pain in the butt cheeks, but it's a lot of fun.
We just got a question that I don't know if we want to.
Next week. Is it timely?
It's kind of a long one.
No, next week.
Next week?
Next week.
Sorry, Sarah. We'll answer it next week.
We're on it next week. Learn time zones, got that. No, I'm joking. Until next time, Crush, I will love you.
Yeah.
Leave you. See you all later.
Goodbye.
You didn't do it too early this time. I'm proud of you.